Hello, everyone. This is Kimberly, and I am so delighted to be here with you on the full moon with Priestess Esmeralda Luna. Hello, Marissa McCall, MotherHouse of the Goddess is here, and all your lovely faces as well. So it's wonderful to see all of you, um, and for us to come together on this very watery, but also very fiery full moon. So, Esmeralda, how are you? Happy full moon.
Thanks. I'm good. I'm good. Just making sure everybody can see
I
my
know.
little up here.
Look, we've got our Sheela-Na-Gig altar going over there. Esmeralda does wonderful altars. Look at this. This is beautiful. Look at
So
that owl. Woo! I need like 20 of them.
I'm sure Parlor of Wonders out of California, her warehouse has not been affected yet.
Oh,
Yet,
good.
who knows how far, but so far they're still good. But I get all of my figural candles from Parlor of Wonders. So they're a great one to support right now.
They are.
She's,
Anybody.
I don't know if she lost her home yet, but I know her
Oh,
boyfriend has lost his home and they're rebuilding. So
oh, good. Well, I am. Well, it's devastating, isn't it? To watch everything happening. Um, oh, Priestess Brandiosette is here, who is in LA area, but not affected at the moment. Is that still true, Brandy, today? Hello, love. Happy full moon.
Happy full moon, everybody. Fuck, fuck.
You guys still good in your area?
We are fine. It's smoky and the wind is going, because the wind is pretty much all around Southern California, but the closest fire is about 40 miles out. So we get the smoke and the ash a bit, but that's about it. So
Yeah.
we're okay. Yeah.
Good. Good, good. Well, bless. It's been really, I can't even imagine living there, knowing all these places very in a very familiar way, you know.
Yeah.
It's like, I mean, the only thing I can even vaguely is going through hurricanes in Florida, you know,
Yeah.
it but not like this. This is
Yeah. And it's like, we get fires every year, but not like this. And,
yeah,
we have the Santa Ana winds, which are, and now I think over the past few days, it's been about 80 miles per hour. And I've never seen, in my lifetime, I've never seen them like this. So it's wild. So everybody kind of like escaped LA, came out here, went to Palm Springs, and mainly Palm Springs and Joshua Tree was like the exodus out of LA. And so everybody's there. Um, yeah. So, and we did what we could of trying to help people find, hang on a second, to help people find, places to stay and Airbnbs and stuff. So yeah.
good.
So everybody we know is there's I don't know, I guess about 6 people that we know that had to get evacuated. And so we've been helping them all week. But it's one of those things where you're used to fires every year out here.
Yeah.
And so you kind of get numb to it and then it goes to this level and you're like, oh,
Right.
oh,
Yes,
yeah,
yes, yeah. Same in Florida. It's like,
yeah,
you get a hurricane one or two, and everybody gets like, yeah, I got my water. Yeah, I got the, and
yeah.
then, a four or five comes rolling in.
Yeah.
But
And so, yeah, there were a couple of small ones that started out here, but they got to them very quickly. So they were put out. And so it happens every time these winds kicked up. So it seems very deliberate. Um,
I've been hearing that more and more on the news that
they
about
usually are like,
arson. Yeah.
yeah, they're usually arson, when the Santa Ana's kicked up. So yeah, but I know a couple people who are being allowed home today. And
Good.
there have been a couple of losses as well, but yeah, we're okay.
Well,
Yeah.
thank you for sharing that. And we're going to
Yeah.
add our prayers, especially for California right now and LA. So huzzah, huzzah. I think I've been thinking about this is so funny. Sekhmet walking through the desert there and just kind of like kicking dirt on the fires. You know? Like, she's like, yeah, whatever. You know?
Well, yeah, that's why everybody flooded to the desert. So,
Yep, right? Yeah, yeah,
yeah.
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 So, all right, sweetheart. Esmeralda, yay. So, do you want to tell us about your altar?
Sure. I just brought my statue. So this one stays on my altar pretty much all the time. It's a
That's such a
Sheila.
good one.
Well, it's based off of one of her I don't know where the image is, but I have seen it in books. It's based off of one of the images that are on one of the I don't know if it's on a church or if it's removed. And then this one I got off of Etsy. Um,
That is, I really like it. I like her with the hair a lot.
I do too. Just probably why I was drawn to this one when I was starting working with her. But she's an Etsy artist. She does a lot of altar cards like this for various different goddesses. And I saw she had a Sheela-Na-Gig, so I said, "Oop, that is for me." So
Ah,
I don't have her link if anyone's interested in getting one of these. This one was from Sacred Source. But I can get the link to you if you want to pop it in there if anybody is interested in buying an altar card from that artist in England. Um, and this is kind of like a portable altar. I'll be doing a candle blessing right before the meditation journey as kind of, I'll explain it more later, but um, a little candle blessing to light our way during the meditation and as we move forward. And then it's surrounded by various crystals that we'll look at kind of later, as far as, and some herbs that are in here that I associate with her. But we'll talk about how you might have your own different associations too. So that's a little bit about this setup for this particular circle.
I love it. I love it. And and for those of you that saw the flyer, um, sorry my light is so icky, but it's like really cloudy and cold here and just dark now. Um, but the flyer that we used was actually Esmeralda working with an artist on your vision of Sheila-Na-Gig, like personified.
Mhm.
And tell us a little bit about that because I love the way that you went with her, you know?
Yeah. So in one of my meditations, kind of in the last few months, she's morphed over the years. She started out very much looking like, well, really more like this. She very much started look, was the traditional old hag with the saggy breasts, and she just kind of almost looked, I wouldn't say powerless, but she looked frail almost and kind of fragile in this way because she was just kind of appearing as older. Um, and over the course of the last few months, she's morphed more into this almost regal looking woman, which is who when I was working with my friend who does AI art, when I started working with her, it's like, well, she has that long gray hair, yes, but it's not stringy. Like it doesn't look like it's
Right.
stringy and like old witchy hag. It's like she doesn't look like that. She looks very very beautiful. Like she's starting to morph into a beautiful older woman as opposed to what men have been, I mean, literally men have been carving her as during the period of the Middle Ages and early Renaissance across Ireland, some in the UK and Wales and a few I think have been found like in France and in Spain. But
Here, I'm gonna
when
put the picture
meditating, huh?
every I'm gonna put the picture up so everybody can see it. Can you guys see it? Oh, here it comes.
It's like where
Okay, is that
I don't
working?
see. No,
No, is it
or
not
I
coming
don't
up?
see it. Maybe I have maybe.
Oh yeah, Victoria, can you?
I,
Yeah, you're looking at the flyer, yeah?
Yeah,
Yeah, we can see
there
it.
we go.
okay, well, I don't know why I can't see it, but anyway, I still just see your face, which is lovely. I love seeing your face. I don't know, maybe it was because I'm a co-host. I don't know. But anyway, I started to do some more journeying with her and working with her. And so she's morphed into almost more, this matriarchal kind of figure to me, as opposed to, her being necessarily looking like this, which isn't bad at all. There's nothing wrong with this image at all. But it's also not an image that women created either. It's very much, at least I don't think that there's any documentation of any of the carvers being women. But so she has appeared to me as what you see in the image. She's the message that I got was more so this reclamation of who she is energetically, kind of like at her core. And while these images of the vulva being exposed is still very much a part of that, um, this image, while she's clothed like she would be in every day, like how we would dress every day. She's still very, showing off some of the goods, she's still
Yeah,
very sensual and very much,
yeah.
womanly and that very, I don't know, she's just a sexy lady. She's very sensual. And that's kind of how she was sitting on in the forest. I saw her sitting in the forest, kind of just moving along with animals, which hence one of the animals I associate with her is the owl. So that's why the owl's here. But so she just, like I said, she just started morphing. The longer I was working with her, she started morphing into this, and she told me it's kind of like I'm reclaiming. I'm just going to, reclaim myself. This is one aspect of me, but I'm not just, the woman with the crazy woman with a vagina that's like all on display, which is powerful in and of itself, but if she were to be seen walking in the woods like I saw her in my images and my journeys, that is exactly how I saw her.
Mhm. I love it. Well, it has really inspired me. Sheela-Na-Gig was my goddess for December, funny enough, uh, and then I think when we did your reading, isn't she this month for you, right?
Yeah,
Yeah,
she
doing
shows
the
up
goddess New
like
Year
that.
reading. So, she's around, like, really interesting. But you have inspired me because I have done a meditation with her, and we actually were kind of walking through a very old graveyard, but in the ruins of an abbey were there, and you could see her above. But walking with me was an image very much inspired by this. Um, so I thought that was really cool. Would anybody else like to share how they interacted with Sheila-Na-Gig? Or what image do you like, or are you inspired by, a different way to view her?
Brandy says she's typing in.
Oh,
Oh,
I was just gonna say, I never have, but I would like to grow into a wise, wild woman.
yeah.
Yeah.
wise woman.
Uh,
That's a good way to. Mhm.
Oh, Esmeralda, I couldn't hear what you said.
No, it's just agreeing with Kelly that like that is I don't know why I couldn't think of that term, but yes, wild woman, you know, but she's I love Sheila. um
Very interesting. Very interesting. Wait a second. Is this from you, Brandy? Let's see.
Randy says there are people here, LOL. I use Sheela-Na-Gig to go beyond the veil to embrace the mysteries through the yoni. Mm-hmm.
Hmm.
Ultra sovereign Kelly. Yeah. Yeah. Um,
Yeah. I have to tell you, um, and I had talked to Esmeralda about this too, but um, when all those awful things were going on and with riots and also with correct protests, and of course, the police were all amped up because everything was amped up. Both sides were amped up, right? This young woman walked to the front of the protesters and she was completely naked and she sat down and she did a Sheela-Na-Gig. When I tell you, those police officers had no frigging idea what to do. None. I mean, all they could do were like, what are we supposed to do now? Right? And she just sat there very casually, like, here you go, run it over. So it was to me a moment where we saw modern goddess mythology being used, and created. I think it's really amazing. Has anyone else seen a Sheila? Has anyone been to Ireland and seen a Sheila?
Brandy says, I see her yoni as a portal. Tasha says, new to me as well. I typically work with the Morrigan.
Oh yeah, Tasha, you'll get right along with Sheila.
Yeah. Yeah. And I even had a download yesterday, and I think I sent you a voice message, Kimberly. I don't know if you read it or heard it yet, but the womb, of course, like she's opening, exposing the vulva, and of course, that's where creativity is, where we birth things. It's literal birthing of children, but that's also the area where we hold on to energies as well. And we birth ideas and all these things. But also, because I haven't really thought, and I guess maybe I've thought of her as a transformation goddess as well. And again, guys, just to reiterate here, she's very much more on the experiential side because most of what is written about her is academic.
Yes.
And so this is a lot of working with her energy. So how I interact with her, how Kimberly interacts with her will probably be much different than how you would interact with her. But needless to say, and suffice it to say, yesterday I was thinking about how one of my things has been forgiveness and releasing and letting go, and how our wombs naturally shed. The uterine lining is that shedding and releasing of the body itself. And I hadn't really put that connection together until yesterday when I started reading a book on forgiveness and was reading the foreword by the Dalai Lama. And that kind of, she popped into my head again with that, with this figure, like the of her, exposing the vulva and the releasing that actually comes out. So that was one other aspect. And there's so many different aspects of her that we could talk about, but I I don't want to give like all of only like how I experience her either. But if anybody like Brandy had mentioned that she's there's more in the chat. I went to several churches in Ireland, but I wasn't tuned in to look for Sheila then. Neither was I. And the first time I saw Sheila was actually over 10 years ago when I was in graduate school at University of Essex at Colchester Castle. They had a display, and on the bottom, I don't know how. Now I'm looking back, I'm like, how did they put her on the bottom? But my reaction when I saw her was, oh, it kind of took me aback, like, oh, I was studying art history, and I started with classical art. I'd never seen a Sheela-Na-Gig before, and I wasn't tuned into seeing her either. But it's almost like it's full circle, and she's come back several years ago with my first reading with Kimberly. She was like, oh, and always that transformative periods in my life. Um, Career changes, relationship changes, especially those two, but also seasonal changes, changes of my own spiritual path where I'm moving or morphing kind of into a just deeper along the path. Like she's there to hold that threshold until I'm ready to step through. So there's just and Kimberly, you can talk about the portals and the thresholds and all of that.
Well, as a daughter of Hecate, I love me some threshold goddesses. And I love portals to other worlds, to the astral plane, to where we do our inner work, you know. And I see Sheela-Na-Gig very much as a protectress in that, right? That she guards the portal because she is the portal, right? And when we think of the womb of creation, right? It's like Sheela-Na-Gig with her, I've always kind of thought about like she's also the goddess that says, I brought you into this world, I can take you out. And that's what's going to happen. And, you know, find out. So I feel like, she has this very, very protective energy, and also and this is just energetically for me. I get very strong purification qualities around her as well. So she's like a wonderful goddess to work with on releasing and then bringing in, that new creativity or a new astral journal or journey or a new goddess or something. And, or maybe it's Sheila herself. What do we got here? Let's see. I
Really
don't always
said,
see I love that. Oh my God, that's so great, Victoria. Big vagina energy, right? I'm really tired of hearing about BDE, right? I like big ovary energy personally, and I don't even have ovaries. I mean, I have astral ovaries, but I like that. I'm gonna have to check that out. Thank you, Victoria. Oh, that's
that
great.
a lot of articles I have bookmarked. But my my favorite book so far has been this one by Starwood.
Yes, yes. That is the tome on Sheela-Na-Gig. I don't know that are there any other books directly? I don't think there are any directly on her.
There's a couple that are smaller.
Oh, like the pagan portals kind of
Yeah,
style.
smaller ones.
Yeah,
I think this is the most in-depth one about
yeah.
her. And it's very academic. Um, but being an art historian by training, it was like, ooh, for me. So not to say that it's like written as an art history book or anything, but there's a lot, it's very academic, but it's interesting though, because she kind of goes into a lot of other ancient images of the vulva and how it's kind of been portrayed over time as well. So, and across different cultures, which is nice to have that comparison.
Yeah. All right. I dig her energy. I mean, she's like really amazing to journey with. So, um, I think, and she's a great goddess, uh, like if you feel a little bit unsure, Sheila is very, very approachable, right? Her energy is I feel like the more you work with her, that's when like the energy will start ramping up. But in the beginning, she's very easy to come to. Very, very easy. No way. Let me see here.
Yeah, the songs I've seen. Um,
Oh my God, this is so great. New Sheilas crafted in clay with 22 karat gold, lustered labia, and beautiful glazed vulvas will be covertly placed in sites that are significant to women's struggles. Which, let me tell you, Ireland had a lot with women, and they still actually in modern times there's still a thread, shall we say, of misogyny or expecting women to carry all the load kind of thing. So I love that the Sheilas are going back up. Hello. Good, good. Well, do we want to get started? Do you want to talk about any other correspondences with her?
um, I can, or do you want to save it for after?
Oh yeah, we're gonna save it for after. Sorry.
Our bubble that you were, yeah, let's go with that.
Let's do that. Okay.
Yeah, we'll
So
do this part.
we're gonna do our bubble, which we use for meditation, astral travel, any kind of protection, right? And I'm gonna walk everybody through that. And then once we have our bubble, which is like, the bubble around us, and then we're all part of this bigger bubble here, we're going to do some directed prayer, especially for California right now. But of course, not forgetting, you know, Ukraine and Syria and Gaza and so many other places that are suffering right now. Um, but it is, I know, Kuan Yin's so busy. She's so busy. Okay. How many eyeballs can she have? All right. Okay. So I'm going to turn off my video so it doesn't distract me. Because it can. And let's start by getting into a nice seated, comfortable seating position. Have your spine nice and straight. If you would like to have your feet on the floor, however you're comfortable, get there. Okay. All right. So let's check in with our breathing. Let's keep our breathing a little deeper than normal, but nice and steady. Let's use our breath to call us back to center. Inhale through your nose, pull it all the way down into your pelvis, and breathe out through your mouth. Let's take a couple of those nourishing breaths. And as we exhale, let the anxiety, worry, distractions, let them flow away from you. Use your breaths to release and invite in life force. All right, now, if you bring your hands cupped, one in the other, to your heart chakra, and in your hands, one palm resting in the other, I'd like you to see a sphere of gorgeous white light. Maybe it looks like the moon. Maybe it has some holographic sparks coming off of it. But see it as a dynamic sphere resting in your hands. And it kind of spins and twirls. Feel the energy radiating down into your palms. What we're going to do is we're going to take in some nice deep breaths. And as we exhale, we're going to blow our bubble. So this sphere is the beginning of your bubble. We're going to blow until it lays just on the outside of our auras. Okay. So let's take a nice deep breath in through your nose. And on exhale, blow your bubble. Maybe it takes a few breaths, but keep blowing until you visualize the bubble right on the outside of your aura, and it seals above your head and beneath your feet. And then we find ourselves in the bubble, surrounded by the white and silver light of this full moon. It's full moon in Cancer. It's a full moon of the divine mother of oceans and waters. She who is rain from the heavens. I want you to find yourself in a bubble of that light, and it tingles and activates. And also, as it moves around you, this light, allow it to take whatever you don't need anymore and push it to the outside of the bubble. Right? Feel the light spiral around you from your crown to your feet, and from your feet to your crown. Feel the light move into the caves and caverns of your body. Allow it to radiate beautifully its light directly into your cellular levels. Allow it to nourish your organs, flow through your bloodstream. Allow the light to be carried everywhere within your body. And again, as it moves through, allow it to cleanse and replace. Take a couple of, again, centering breaths and just feel yourself supported, activated, enlightened through the light of Goddess, through the light of full moon. And before we enter the sacred space of Sheela-Na-Gig, I'd like to offer some prayers for the goddesses. And we're going to kind of like moving through from just above your crown all the way down to Gaia. So if you'd like to, you could put your right hand a couple of inches above your head. And we say, may Newt and the celestial goddesses watch over us and keep the ancestors snug in their bellies. They are our sacred arcs of protection, stooping to kiss the land. We bless those who have lost someone, knowing that Goddess brings them home to her belly. Now, if you want to touch your crown chakra, may Kuan Yin and all bodhisattvas bring refuge to all those suffering. May the peace of her divine light assist all who need it. And we bless those who are making decisions about this fire, who are going through information. We bless them to have clear heads and to do the right thing. As we move again to our third eye, may Sheela-Na-Gig and the numinous guardians of our liminal spaces surround us with their magic. Magic is a very potent force for change and transformation in our universe. Then, as we are at the throat chakra, may Oya and all goddesses of wind and weather avert the fires, clear the smoke, and assist the frontline firefighters. Oya is called the goddess of nine skirts, and she spins and spins and spins. So imagine her spinning to avert the fires, to clear the smoke, and help the firefighters. May Tara and all goddesses at your heart chakra and all goddesses of the heart give you grace in grief, sustenance in sorrow, and open the wells of love and compassion. And this is for everyone suffering a loss, whether of a person or a place or an animal or a friend, whatever loss, your home. You know, the full moon in Cancer right now is all about home. So it's a very intense moon and it's very watery. Okay, as we go to our solar plexus, may Sekhmet and our mighty warrior mothers bring strength and fortification for those affected in situations such as California and other areas that are in deep suffering. It can be hard to find the motivation to wake up or to understand everything, or feeling like no one else can understand you. And so we look for that strength and fortification through our warrior mothers. As we go to our sacral chakra, may Oshun, Yamaya, and all the sacred mothers of water bring their healing and their relief to douse the fires, to nourish the people, to bring growth back to the land. And as we sit at this root chakra, we reach out to the goddess Ishel, who is a goddess of the moon, the womb, and sacred waters. May Ishel protect us as we are in danger or simply needing the comfort of Goddess. May she always be a home for you. And now we feel our feet on Gaia, on the Great Mother, she who is the land and the creatures of the land. She who is the plants, the vegetation, the flowers. She who is structure. And she who is our sanctuary and refuge. May the grace of Gaia and the other earth goddesses bring relief and home again to all those in need. Take a deep breath. And as we open our well of love and compassion, think about these goddesses or whatever goddesses you would like to invite in to pray to relieve the suffering in the world today. As above, so below, as within, so without. Esmeralda, take it away.
That was very, very beautiful.
Thank you.
I am going to do a very short candle blessing to light our way with the meditation, but also really to light our way through the rest of this season. It's the beginning of a new solar year, not the new year so much for another couple of weeks, but we are kind of in this energy of kind of crossing a threshold. Many of us are kind of within these transformative spaces in our own lives, or trying to go from point A to point B, and Sheila is there to hold you on this side of the threshold. She's there to kind of see you through the threshold, and she's there to meet you on the other side of that threshold too. So she's really one that you can work with from start to finish, but she is still always there. And that's how I experience her when I work with her all the time. I do want to point out some of the crystals and the herbs that I've used. I've used yarrow and mugwort more so for that transformative and intuitive kind of amplification around the candle. And I also have a couple of stones that I have found that I associate with her. Again, if you work with her, you might find some other stones in that within your own collections, or maybe you find something laying on the ground. Like I have two that I'm going to show you that I found laying on the ground that really spoke to me about, that just screamed, I'm from Sheila. So protective stones for me, like black obsidian, and I have a red garnet that's here. Sorry, you can't even really see, but I have a red garnet on here. There's a red jasper. A lot of these kind of like grounding root chakra stones. Bloodstone is one that I found. It looks black. It's a very, very deep green though. Septarian I found to be very grounding for me when I use this with her. Also labradorite.
I love the septarian too. That's I'm gonna have to dig mine out.
I really enjoy a septarian with her, and I use it in meditation. This one, of course, has a nice little thumb, like a little groove in here, so I can put my thumb in it. So I love
Yeah.
meditating with this one. Of course, the smoky quartz. I feel like grounding, protection with her too. As you're going from one known to an unknown, and so those protective crystals I feel like are good. They feel good. These are the two more like rocks that I found, but they're both heart-shaped. And these are ones that I found on, sorry, that's the backside, on riversides, like along
Beautiful.
that I've kind of walked around and on various trips and things. And those two are ones that jumped out at me because they're heart-shaped, but also because I find her to be such a loving goddess. She's very, well, not that any of them aren't, but I feel with her, it's like this mothering, but also almost like she's the cool aunt in a way.
Yes, yes, I love that.
And the two little hearts, I don't know, when I saw them, I just immediately thought Sheila. So that's those crystals in here. So if you are going through a transition or are setting some goals for yourself, or I don't like really the term setting resolutions, but I mean, if that's you, do your thing. But if we're doing goals or kind of just like revamping ourselves or thinking about trying something different, or going deeper with a practice where you're starting here, but you're hoping to wind up in another place, then I'd like you to kind of call that to mind and center that into the candle. Because this too, you know, I'd like for it to be personal for you as well for this portion of it, for anything that you're wanting her help, her guidance, her light with, to carry you from that one part of the threshold to the other side. Think about that for a moment and center. I think you can see the owl. And just kind of focus on the owl and center that intention into the candle. And I'll do a general intention for the group, but if you have your own, please take a moment to infuse the candle with that energy. And I guess I didn't mention why I chose the owl is I associate the owl with her. She seems very much kind of wisdom-like for me, but also owls can be very predatory as well, kind of in that seeing everything, but there's also wisdom. There's a lot of things. I also see a lot of forest kind of creatures too with her. But the owl to kind of guide us. In my visions, I always have an owl with me, and it's always kind of right here and it's leading the way. So it's kind of why I chose the owl. It's a little personal to me, but hopefully it translates for you as well. So if you want to go ahead and close your eyes, I'm going to go ahead and start lighting the candle, and I'll recite what I've written for the candle, and then we'll go, do you want me to go ahead and go straight into the meditation?
I think so. Absolutely, honey. Yeah. This
Okay.
is beautiful.
We'll light you. So wise information. Sheila's owl, help us to light and illuminate our path. And may these crystals and these herbs amplify our strength, our clarity, and our wisdom as we step into the next chapter, as we step across the threshold, as we approach the threshold. So just with your eyes closed, just imagine, you know, bringing that, let me pull up my Word document. And so hopefully everybody has infused the candle with their intention. And we will start. You want to take a couple of deep centering breaths in through your nose and out through your mouth. Allow your body to relax, releasing tension with each exhale. Feel the support beneath you, grounding you into the earth. and allow yourself to be fully present in this moment. And begin to imagine yourself standing on a serene beach, and the sand beneath your feet feels cool and soft, grounding you with every step. And you hear the rhythmic sound of the waves gently lapping at the shore, a soothing melody that washes over you. The air is crisp, carrying the scent of the sea and the energy of the winter season, still reflective, full of potential. As you stand here, you notice a shimmering path of light leading from the beach toward the cliffs in the distance. And this path begin to follow it, taking each step with intention. Along the way, you might notice symbols, patterns, or signs in the landscape. These may be personal messages or simply reminders that you're on sacred ground. Trust whatever comes to you. The path leads you to the entrance and glows softly as if welcoming you. The walls are made of shimmering crystals, some clear, some deeply colored, all radiating a subtle light. You can feel the energy of the cave, a sacred, transformative space. But when you feel ready, step inside. As you move deeper into the cave, the light grows warmer and brighter. The air feels charged with the ancient wisdom. At a central chamber where Sheela-Na-Gig waits for you. Notice how she appears to you. She might be carved into the wall itself, emerging from stone as a living presence, or seated on a throne of earth and crystal. Her gaze is piercing yet kind, her energy raw and unapologetically authentic. Take a moment to connect with her presence. Notice how her energy feels. Perhaps it's earthy and grounding, or powerful and stirring. When you feel ready, approach her. She invites you to sit with her, to stand before her, or simply to just be in her presence. Trust whatever feels right for you. Now open yourself to receive her message. You may silently ask her a question, such as, what do I need to know for this winter season? Or what wisdom can guide me forward? Or you might simply remain open, letting her share whatever she wishes to offer. Her message may come as words, as symbols, images, or even a feeling. Trust whatever arises. It is meant for you. take a moment to reflect on her message while you're in her presence and within this crystal cave. How does it connect to the winter season? What parts of your life need shedding, resting, or transforming? Of introspection and renewal. When you feel complete, thank her for her presence and her guidance. She might offer a final blessing, a symbol, a gesture, or even a gift before you leave. Make your way back out of the cave, retracing your steps along the glowing path. As you exit, the beach comes into view again. The waves still lap gently at the shore, and the sand feels cool beneath your feet. Take a moment here to ground yourself in this space, feeling gratitude for the experience and for the guidance that you've just received. And when you're ready, begin to bring your awareness back to your breath, feeling the rise and fall of your chest. And begin to wiggle your fingers and your toes and gently begin to bring yourself back to the present moment. You can take one more deep breath in and out. And when you're ready, you can open your eyes.
Esmeralda, that was beautiful. Thank you very much. That was super cool.
I didn't keep track of time. I didn't notice when I started. So I don't.
You're fine. No, that was wonderful.
Okay, good. And in case anyone's wondering why a crystal cave, I am a crystal healer. Like I've created that cave specifically for my clients and healing sessions. Everybody goes to that cave for healing, for everything. So
Love it.
you meet all the goddesses there when I do courses. So that's why the crystal cave.
That is wonderful. Thank you so much. And everyone, as you breathe, while we chit chat a bit more, you're just going to allow that bubble that was on the outside of your aura to kind of just melt gently into your aura, right? And just, bring it along for the ride. You should always bubble every day, y'all. Okay.
Especially
Yeah, especially right now. Yes, yes, yes.
a very nice, consistent, beautiful flame. So
It is, it's gorgeous. Yeah, Madame Pamita does amazing work. Amazing work. That's so cool.
So, would anyone like to share? I would love to hear what people's experiences were with her. Um, you can
You know
come
what?
on video, you can do it
Hey,
in the chat.
oh, I'm sorry. Say again.
Unmute yourself. I'm,
Was
yeah.
that me? No.
No. I'm just saying if anybody is still on, if they want to share,
Oh,
even just how she appeared to you, you could do that. You may not want to share what the message was, but even if you just want to share, if she gave you a gift or if there was uh, something specific in the way that she actually appeared, I would be interested. Yeah.
well, I'll share. So it's really funny because caves for me, I have like two types of caves that I go to. One is very cave like, the other is that big central room with a ginormous tree, like the Norns hang out, everybody, and you can see the stars, right? And that's where I ended up. And she was standing by the tree. She had a very cool like walking stick that was carved with an image of her, but she looked like the cascading, gray hair and that teal color kind of that you picked, for her gown. And um little, I want to say sparks, but they were a little bit bigger. It was almost like bubbles. Bubbles, there you go, coming off of her and at different points, and they would just kind of go up and into the tree and then kind of up and out.
Oh,
Yeah, that was like a big surprise. And what she said to me was, um, I have released shackles that I still think are there. And basically, um, she's going to be my reality check. So that's a little bit. I know there were a couple other things that were super super cool, but yeah, she was very um guardian like, and I mean, I love trees too, so
I like that. I like how the cave like transformed for you.
yeah.
Like or the cave can appear on the inside really anyway. It's like a TARDIS. Like, it can appear something different on the inside, It doesn't. Brandy says, we just kind of hung out in the cave. Sheila is a silent goddess for me. She doesn't speak. It's all emotion and energy, which speaks a lot in itself. My cave was floor of amethyst, walls of quartz with kind of a moon roof at the top where I could see the full moon and the stars. It's beautiful.
But yes.
Yeah. I like that you say that she is silent for you because I think, we have a tendency to think that we each experience goddesses or should experience them all the same. And, we don't necessarily do. And that's okay.
Well, and you know what? I got because I'm always thinking about like blog posts or things like that or something, to share about goddesses in writing. And the first thing she said to me was a conversation in a churchyard. And that's going to be the name of it. And then I'll do some channeled writing.
Ooh.
So she gonna talk, Brandy. and that this is a perfect example of how we approach goddess. And all of us, experience goddess in different ways. There is not one way that is more right most of the time. You know, there's some bad books out there suggesting bad things. Okay.
Yeah. Oh,
Oh,
there isn't like she's not like Hecate or all these other goddesses that have specific way, specific correspondences and specific ways of working with. She's very experiential. I think I kind of like that about her though, because she's not a god. I think MotherHouse, like we label her as a goddess. Yeah,
Yes.
she definitely has that energy. Um, but the rest of the world, academically speaking, doesn't necessarily consider her a goddess like we do, but
Well, they can
I do. They can
actually, when Priestess Brandy Osset wrote the Goddess Guide, is Sheila in there? Yes, of course. See, so that was a couple years before Mother House. We
yeah,
claimed her. We claimed her.
it
Mm.
is. Yeah. She's just very experiential. And, I think she's open to like, she's open to that too, though. She's not gonna turn you away.
Yeah.
The energy isn't gonna turn you away from her. Monica has her hand up.
Yeah.
Yeah, this is kind of odd, maybe, but I've been getting lots of fire focused tarot. And so thinking of the vulva and hey, and instead of it being somebody's asshole, it's the vagina. And walking in was like waters, but the waters were like golden light and like your bubbles, how they have all those different colors, like a mercury,
Yeah.
just sparkling along, flushing, clearing away the release, and then an embrace. And I keep going back and forth in my mind. Was she sitting and was she part of the cave? Was she tree? And then the waters flowing through the vulva and an embrace and red roses and
Oh,
self-love and forgiveness. And then towards the end, like the tower, brilliant molten red energy flowing through.
look at that.
So that was my experience. And I don't have really much experience with Sheela-Na-Gig, but that was my experience. And while, some people may think, oh, this is terrifying, it wasn't. It was like a really warm, it was an embrace of tenderness through all of this cataclysmic movement. So,
Oh, that's
yeah,
so beautiful.
thank you.
I love that. And also the full moon is in Cancer. Mars is in Cancer right now, which is like he didn't like it there. At all. And those bring us to the mothers of the waters, right? Cancer, it's the crab, it's the sea. I mean, some people say that it's actually the sign of the Divine Mother, I mean, I think they all are personally, but I live in a goddess centric universe. And so I think it's absolutely beautiful understanding that when you are journeying, right, when you are meditating, I really, really recommend a journal. And the reason for that is because you can record what your journeys, but also what you're recording is your personal symbology, right? So, as an example, what Monica experienced is her personal symbology, right? And maybe, she's recording dreams and meditations and journey work and things like that. And then you start to notice, oh, well, where does that warm womb water go? Or what is she doing and how is she sustaining? Like you're able to make more personal discoveries, I think. And I know Esmeralda is a big,
My journal that sits
yeah,
right.
right, right. Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Like, how many entries do I have with Sheela-Na-Gig?
Yeah, yeah,
There's a lot to me.
yeah. And it's not too about like, I mean, I know some dream workers that like to have lots of dreams, might be in the room right now. Um, but I personally, I like quality over quantity. I mean, I know I dream every night. I'm usually have busy dreams, but I like good quality. Like, break out all my Jungian books and like, let me at it. um, but if you're looking to kind of expand your dream practice, which also is applicable to meditation and journey work, um, Tokapa Turner has a new book out called The Dreaming Way. And she's a dream teacher and a wisdom teacher and a Jungian. She's amazing. So, and she's goddess oriented. So is my little soapbox.
Well, thank you for sharing, Monica. That was really, really beautiful. I feel like she was holding you, and like I said, the way she appears and the way she interacts with people, it was just different from person to person. And those symbols might mean something specific just for you. And that's what I think is just like so special with her, because it can be so personal because she has no doctrine kind of to follow.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm really glad I was able to participate today to learn more about her and understand um, more about her. So thank you for the opportunity and for the experience to journey and to make a connection with her. And Kimberly, thank you. The opening, the blessings, so incredibly beautiful.
Thanks.
Really. Yeah.
Thank you. Yeah, it's she's a great goddess. And we may or may not may have a Sheela-Na-Gig class coming, Esmeralda. And so stay tuned. Okay.
It'll be very experiential, much more of like a guided 4 to 6 weeks. I don't know just yet, but different ways to try to connect with her, finding out what your talismans and what your crystals are to work with her,
Yeah.
what your herbs are that associate and make meaning for you. It's very much more of an experiential thing that we're going for in that, not anyone telling you who she is or what she is, but for you really to explore her yourself, just in kind of a guided way. Well, it's worked for me to find things, but also helping you to find those things for yourself too. Like these little stones, like
I love that.
who
Those are very Oshun too, Esmeralda.
very Ishel, but when I saw, and I use them for both, but I do gravitate towards them as well because they're very earthy and they just feel very grounding, and I feel like she's very grounding to me. She's very grounding to me. And so that's why I pull these out when I work with her. So, yeah.
That is so cool. No, I think what's interesting is that, and I totally agree with you. I mean, I love academic mythology and everything. Like I can get nitty gritty. I go down rabbit holes or rabbit warrens and then more holes. And I'm like, and I love all of that. But I also, interestingly, in like a community consciousness way, I feel like with goddess community, I feel like people are looking more for experiences now and less for, repeating mythology. Like people are looking like, how do I journal? How do I connect? How do I experience? Um, and not just read about. I mean, honestly, does it mean anything to you that the about the year 3000 BCE? I mean, could you, like, no, but do you want to know Inanna? and Anhedowana and Ashara. I mean, you know what I'm saying? So like, Arishkago, you really do. But you've got to, that's one of the ways that you do it. You work with a teacher, like, Esmeralda, priestesses at the MotherHouse. And you know what? You before you know it, you'll be off doing your own journeys. So it's not it's something that can be taught. And I think a lot of people beat themselves up. I didn't see it. I didn't see it. Oh, like one time, you know. I started with my first spiritual teacher in 1993. I'm still learning every single day. So embrace the learning. Don't worry about the one time, right? Oh, one time it didn't work, so I can't. You know, your body gives you these beautiful messages from itself. It's called embodiment, right? And you get all of these little, you know, tips and tricks and everything. And when your mind is leaning in joy, in bliss towards a topic or a project or something like that, your body relaxes. It calms down, right? So things start to move more fluid, right? So you have to think about that is the spiritual path. And it's actually just exactly what Monica talked about too. It's kind of like being in these bathing waters that feel good and warm and safe. Um, but at the same time, you know, get your basics down, you know. Like, you know, we have Brandy Alsett and I have a new moon group that we do every new moon, day of the new moon, Eastern time, at 4 o'clock Eastern. Um, and this year it falls on Lunar New Year, of course. And since it will be the year of the wood snake, we're going to do Medusa. Like, I'm like, yeah. So, so come and join us at motherhouseofthegoddess.com. I know there was not a lot of posting going on. There were just this year, last year were just really hard. Um, I think this year is going to be hard, but in a different way. And so, in a way that we will all need more community, you know. Um, that sometimes we might need a sane check, right? Like, is this really happening? Oh my God. So, yeah, I, um, I think we're going to need community quite a bit this year. So I am delighted to have priestesses like Esmeralda and the other MotherHouse priestesses that are around that hopefully in 2025 we'll be offering these cool things and some new classes and everything. So we're prepping for Goddess New Year, which begins, well, February 28th, really, at dusk. um, and we'll have a lot of really great things going on as well. Esmeralda, your Substack? Your Substack is on this where I'm putting the archive. Look at the notes below and please join Esmeralda on Substack. I'm going to be there soon too. Priestess Brandy Alsett is there. A lot of people from our group and then the greater goddess community are there. A lot of writers, a lot of authors, a lot of witches, a lot of magicians, a lot of priestesses. It's and lots of Jungians and lots of like regular everyday people. But it's a cool spot. So definitely check out that link. Esmeralda, was there anything else that you're doing, presenting?
No, no, I'm just gonna let this candle burn through till it burns. So hopefully, our path stays lit. and it'll be lit far beyond the burning of the candle. But just know that your intentions are here slowly, being nurtured and guided by Sheila. And yeah, I know you already mentioned my Substack, so yeah.
Yeah.
A couple of posts, but I'm trying to post once to twice. Subscribers will get like additional stuff, but all of the articles will be free. So the content itself is always going to be free. But if you want like guided meditations and workbooks and journaling questions and stuff like that, that'll be additional. And for free, so you can start there. And
Huzzah!
huzzah! I like it. Huzzah! They do the Renfest. Huzzah!
It really is, yeah. All right, everyone. Thank you for joining us. I know this went on a little bit long. Oh, well, we're in our feels. We're in this full moon in Cancer. Beware that Mars in Cancer. It kind of changes the energy a little bit of the full moon in Cancer. And like I said, you might be more in your feels. Certainly, there are people that are going through really big tragedies and are probably deeply in their feels, since also Cancer is the sign of home. And so, prayers up. You are activated. Open your wells of compassion and love, which I know y'all do. So,
yeah. Continue to be that light in your own communities, in your own families, with the people that you love and are there immediately close to you.
yeah.
Yeah. Be the light. Be the light. Hold the light.
Hold the light.
Hold it.
Hold.
Hold it for 4 years. Hold it.
Oh my God.
People need it. People need it. And Sheila will help you. She'll help
Yes.
you.
I
And
feel tugging.
it's a long threshold, but she'll get us through to that other side.
I love it. Esmeralda, thank you, sweetheart, so much for everything. This has been absolutely beautiful. So, and thank you all for coming to visit us. Come to visit us at motherhouseofthegoddess.com and, working on getting some more blog posts and goodies up for y'all. So I'm still in my winter, in my winter.
Hopefully
Thank
we'll see you on
you.
the honeymoon.
All right. Bye, everybody.
Bye.
Here, I'm gonna. Ooh.